We thought you left in a huff, in a Derek huff.
Well, after a few slow, deep breaths, I decided that I wasn't going to let you white people take away my full day's pay.
Nor should you. Mm-hmm.
So I got one more hour.
Alan Cox Show. Well, after hours line, I guess, we're having some issues with it. So I will eventually get your messages. But those are piling up. I'm just unable to get them, but still plenty of people leaving messages on the iHeartRadio app. We have people who listen all throughout North America. If you listen to us outside Ohio, tell me where. I'd like to know where people are. Sarah is our bureau chief in Norwalk, Connecticut. Sean is in Indianapolis. Denise is in Centerville, Maryland. Sonia listens in Schenectady, New York. Paul and Summer are in Mundelein, Illinois. That is suburban Chicago. Chris and Samantha are in Sarasota. And Kenny is a new listener in Fremont, Indiana. And you can leave us messages there, too.
Alan, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. You're always a day late and dollar short when it comes to talking about things. Because most of the time, by the time you've covered them, they've already talked about them on the morning show. Come on, get it together, man.
What is he talking about?
He never gives examples. But also, it's a different show.
Well, this might surprise people, but I don't consult with the morning show, and I don't consult on each other's shows. We're kind of on our own islands, because I'll have people blow me up and they'll be like, "Hey, Rover's talking about something you were talking about last week." And I go, "Yeah, that's fine. I don't
That's what
we
happens.
don't consult with each other." Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to. But yeah, that'll happen. But I don't know what they do, and I'm sure they don't know what I do. And that's fine.
Right.
Two separate shows. They don't have a list of things that they go, "Well, we can't, Alan talked about that, so we can't." And I'm not sitting, we don't know what the other one's doing. And that's the way, I'm sure, they like it, and I like it. That's the way, I like it.
I just think it's strange that this guy thinks that the show's like we wouldn't talk about something because they talked about.
Well, I just
like that.
Some people will leave.
Strange.
Some people will leave messages, but they don't leave me enough information.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to know, because I know what's happening is people leave messages in the moment as we're talking about something, but I don't know what you're referring to. So I always need. Be succinct, but I need context, or I need to know what you're talking about.
In reference to this story.
There you go.
Yes.
Hey, your conversation about. That's always very, very helpful.
Now, there is a thing. If on the morning show they were talking about uncoded Amish stairs.
Uncoded stairs.
Then our apologies.
Yeah. That's a good point. Did you see that, Steven Seagal is a big fan of Vladimir Putin. He loves Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, he loves him. And Putin loves Steven Seagal. And he gave him, Steven Seagal has been a resident of Russia for a while now. I don't know if nobody else wanted him or whatever. They treat him like a king over there. He is, they're keeping him in rubles and jet black hair dye, I guess. And Steven Seagal has gotten the top state award as a humanitarian. If there's one thing Vladimir Putin values, it's a humanitarian. And so he has given
Vladimir Putin,
I guess, the equivalent of the Presidential Medal of Freedom or something. I don't know. I don't know what our analog here would be. But he's given Steven Seagal Russia's top award for humanitarian work. If you've seen Steven Seagal, he's become an odd-looking fellow. Back in the day, Steven Seagal was such a good-looking dude. Like, I know it's 30 years ago. I get it. Like, people change how they look. But back when he was, like, banging Kelly LeBrock in like the Hard to Kill days and the Out for Justice days. Man, he's working with Andrew Davis, like legit directors. He's a good-looking dude. But he has gotten the International Humanitarian Award. Steven Seagal is 70. He's been given Russia's Order of Friendship. I don't know what that entails. But,
Vladimir Putin.
But he's very specific about how he addresses his friend. Humanitarian ties with the United States and Japan. Oh, maybe is he some kind of emissary between Russia and the U.S.?
I'm not sure.
He's had a Russian passport and has considered himself a resident of Russia for about 7 years. So he's fully on board, by the way, with the Ukrainian war from the Russian side. He said it's very reasonable. He's a member of some pro-Kremlin parties. And Ukraine banned him from coming over there for a while. So I'd love to imagine if they discovered, by the way, that Steven Seagal was defenestrating all those Russians. Imagine if he was the guy throwing them out of windows. You know how all these oligarchs and like Putin allies, they go, oh, another guy committed suicide. These Russians love committing suicide by jumping out a window. That seems to be the only way they know how to do it. I don't know if they're short on rope. I don't know if they don't have pills. They're always finding some guy outside on a sidewalk with broken glass around him. Imagine if Seagal was throwing these dudes out of windows. One guy fell off his luxury yacht and drowned. Another guy fell out a window. Another guy fell down, quote, several sets of stairs. Boy, they're clumsy in Russia. A former deputy director was found hanged in his home in London.
I'm sure he just fell off of something and landed inside of the rope.
I was trying to change light bulb and the rope went around neck and
He's trying to see how skinny I was and it stopped at my throat.
he fell. Another guy tripped and fell while smoking a cigarette. Another one had an accidental fall from a hospital window. I guess that would be the easiest way to do something, right? If you weren't concerned at all with the appearances of something, you just push somebody out a window. Another guy was found on the grounds of a hospital outside of his window. He tripped and fell while smoking. Is what they said. And they always investigate him as like, oh, we're looking into it as a suicide, wink, wink, because nobody wants to cross Putin. So allies or enemies, a lot of these people are falling out of windows. All kinds of strange circumstances.
And the fact that they just don't care. Like, there's other countries who do stuff like this, and it's just, there's fanfare, and I can't believe this happened, and blah, blah, blah. This is just another day, and another person just fell.
Because you don't want to be the next person to fall out the window.
Right.
So you go, oh, windows are dangerous.
I think there was like I saw it on like some Facebook thing, and it was a video of this news reporter being, do they call it disappeared? Like live on camera?
Yeah.
Like she said, let's go to the segment. And then when she came back from the segment, someone else was sitting in her place.
Yeah.
And I was like, do they do that in Russia, or do they just like yank you out? Like they have like whatever his name, insert Russian name here. Just grab him.
Alexander Tulyakov.
And just Igor just come and get you.
Igor, yep, exactly. Igor just grab you off camera, and they want you to see. Like, I dare you. We're not going to go to a segment. I'm going to yank you off right now. I'm going to yoke you up.
But these are all like super rich. They're oligarchs. They're all billionaires. And, he just couldn't take it anymore. He slit his wrists. He was so sad. There's a movie called Michael Clayton. It's one of my favorite movies. It's a George Clooney movie from probably about 15 years ago, where he plays a fixer for a law firm. I don't know if people saw it that much, but I love this movie. It's cast well. It's just a great movie. And there's a scene where a guy who's causing trouble is killed by these hitmen. and they come in under cover of a night, and this guy, they're in his apartment waiting for him, and they shoot some kind of, I mean, these guys are pros. These two guys, they got the booties on. You know, they don't have masks or anything because they're going to kill the guy right there.
Yeah.
They get him on the ground. They they kind of lay him down. They take his socks off. They have syringes. They inject him between his toes. They check his pulse, and then the one guy looks at the other one and they go, okay, he's dead. And then they put his socks back on, and they meticulously put his shoes back on. They kind of make him look a little disheveled. They pick him up, drag him into the bathroom, lay him down. There's a pill bottle strewn around him to make it look like this guy OD'd on pills or whatever. It's wild. And you have to think that those kinds of things happen all the time. Another Russian billionaire who was found along with his wife and 2 young children, all of them dead from stab wounds. And they're like, oh, he must have killed his family. You know, so anyway. But they love Steven Seagal.
So it never took me as the homicidal type. But
Yeah.
what could be the explanation for this? All stabbed to death.
That's right. I'll tell you what they need out there in Russia, Bill, is a wind donation. I'll tell you what,
There you go.
boy, these are strong. You wouldn't be able to throw anybody out of one of those because they're so strong, right? And
there's going to be no leaks. Secrets or
right. No state
cold air,
secrets
yeah.
or drafts will leak from those. Well, maybe that Russian fell down the stairs because they were uncoded.
Could be.
Yeah.
Do they got Amish over there in Russia?
Putin is also funding Steven Seagal's comeback film, Out of Breath. Alan, the morning show has men on it and a woman. Why does your show have men and a woman too? In all caps. That's right. Well, we're all going to be out, and I don't know who from the morning show is going to be out with us, but we're going to be out on St. Patty's Day. We're going to be at the Clevelander. And so I'm hoping we're all going to be hanging out because those are fun when we do those. St. Patty's Day, we're going to get going around 10 o'clock.
Dude, it's a Friday.
And we're just, I know, Friday downtown. And yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. I'm definitely Ubering down here that day.
Yeah, I'm Ubering for sure. Uber.
So, yeah, the Clevelander will get going around, I think, 10 to 7. We're just going to be, I think we're going to be playing music, but we're just going to screw around and get on the mic when we want to, and it should be a lot of fun. So if you're downtown for St. Patty's Day, pop in and come hang at the Clevelander for a bit. At least, pop your head in. Stop in. We won't throw you out of a window. Pardon me. I promise we won't throw you out of any windows.
It's going to be cool like that. I want to at least pop in here for a little bit and just see everybody on the streets and watch the parade from in here for a little while.
Does it go down Euclid?
Doesn't it?
I have no idea.
That went down Euclid.
I've never seen the parade.
I haven't either.
Maybe it goes down Superior. I thought it was Euclid, though.
It is a Superior parade.
He did it. He did it.
He loves doing it.
It should come as no surprise to anyone, but it is nice for them to underscore when they do these bits of research because our own Cody Poundcake Brown is in the midst of, where do you work out again?
Oh, Orange Theory Fitness.
That exercise is almost 2 times more effective at battling depression than counseling or medication. This isn't new news, but they do studies like this all the time to try to get people to understand that, hey, if you're prone to depression, exercise goes a long, long way. That's why Poundcake is much more chipper than he was before.
Yes, and I've been hella horny, too.
Hella horny. All
All
right.
pent up and nowhere for it to go.
I am Dr. Penis.
Nowhere for it to go.
How long has it been?
I told you about the last time I hooked up with a guy and I had a broccoli in my teeth. So that was the last time.
Well, when was that? I don't remember.
It was right after I had broccoli, Bill.
Broccoli.
He had a broccoli.
Probably like a month ago, so not awful.
Okay.
Well,
Not
maybe-
doing too bad.
Month to 5 weeks. But yeah, that he didn't give me a call back after that. I was just thinking like, how shallow, you know?
You
But
would
how
have
do you-
called him back.
broccoli-
You would have
when
cut it off right in that
But also,
moment.
you don't know that that's why.
Yes,
maybe
it is.
maybe he just wasn't vibing with you
He waits till I give the
because of the
goods.
broccoli.
Yes.
If he listen, if I like somebody, I'm going past the broccoli.
He should have told me
That could
broccoli was
happen
in
to
my teeth.
anybody. Huh?
He should have told me.
Well,
I'm sitting there cuddling, giving him all my good goods, and then now I'm smiling at him like, see you later. And the whole time he's thinking, he's got broccoli in his teeth. Rude.
well, first date, that might be a tough. Some
It was
people
second.
date. Well, then it sounds like maybe you're not vibing with the guy.
Well, that's fine. Well, that was the last time I had it.
But
I didn't get a
I don't
call
know.
back after that.
Yeah, but I don't know if I would chalk that up to the broccoli
Fine.
because you could have just as easily told him he had something in his teeth.
But he didn't.
He doesn't know that. You go, oh, you got it. No, right, you know.
I was telling Bill that like I was on Facebook dating, and I don't understand why I'm getting.
That's still a
guys-
thing?
Yes, I don't understand why I'm getting guys so far. Like I'm talking to a guy that's in Boys Town, and I'm like, he's like, how often do you come to Chicago? I was like, I've been once. He's like, oh, well, you should come back again. I was like, to go on a date with you? Like, I'm sure you're very nice, sir, but
But also, why can't he find any why is he going out of town?
I don't think it's like that. I'm not going out of town. I'm not purposely trying to go out of town. That's like I'm getting people in Kentucky and
Why?
Michigan. I don't
Isn't it
know.
all geotagged?
I set my
That's why he's so
perim-
confused.
That's why
yeah.
I've set my perimeter to like 100 my radius to 100 miles. Like it shouldn't be like this. 100 miles is plenty. That's a 2-hour drive.
That's
and
too
that-
far.
And that's further than I would normally drive. But I'm like, you know what? I'm an adult now. I got a decent car. I can make a little extra trip. If I was doing hour drives in college, I can do a 2-hour drive as an adult. So I don't know why I'm getting 6 hours away. Maybe not many people are using Facebook dating, so they have to pull from other areas.
That's my guess. Are you exclusively using Facebook dating, or are you trying on other stuff too?
I have Tinder and I have Grindr, but I don't pay for Grindr extra, so it's honestly just a waste of time. Like
Why not pay for it if you're that lonely?
I'm not that lonely. I want it convenient to me, like it used to be. How
much is it?
I don't know. It's like $9.99 a month, but I have never gotten it. And
It'll change your life if you get it.
if you don't get it, then it's nothing but ads and a bunch of guys. It's like all the guys are conveniently hotter after the fold.
It's nothing but ads and guys. Who wants that?
I'm just saying it's a bunch of ads when you don't have it, and then you are limited on the guys you can select. So it's always the hottest guys are after the fold where it says just $9.99 a month and see how many guys you can access. And I'm like, oh, that guy's really hot. And I just convinced myself, I'm like, all right, well, you're not paying $9.99 a month, so he wouldn't talk to you anyways. So then I log off because I get frustrated.
God, so
I
many
go to
hoops to jump
I
through.
go to Tinder because that's how I rationalize being cheap.
Just
I'm
go
like,
out and meet people.
I do. I go to the bars now. I go to
All
Studio
right.
West 117, and I still go to Twist.
But as far as Chicago goes, Jeremiah is listening, and he sent me a text that said, when you're using it in the building, if you're connected to Wi-Fi, it's pinging in Chicago because that's what our VPN runs through.
Oh yeah, we're all
Yeah.
geotagged for Chicago here. You're not. I assumed you were talking about at home.
This was at home.
Okay.
This is
but
not,
even if you are, like, it might have some sort of cache saved in there.
it's not just Chicago.
Yeah.
I would say it's not just Chicago. I'm getting Toronto. I'm getting Michigan. I
Yeah.
honestly just think Facebook. There's not enough people using it, so they're pulling especially gays. They're pulling gays from all over the Midwest, and they're like, just put them on there. See if we can make a love connection.
Yeah, because it's more than 100-mile radius from Cleveland to Chicago.
Yeah.
I know that.
So
A lot.
yeah,
I mean, I can just like quickly pull it up and just show you.
well, we believe you.
Well, I'm just curious as to maybe some of our listeners could help me out.
Maybe that guy thought you had some uncode teeth.
See, this guy's in Columbus.
That's your
That's
broccoli.
He didn't listen.
uncode teeth.
It's okay. Wasn't that strong? Well, listen, I don't know why you're striking out so much.
Because everyone sucks and I'm awesome. That's what.
Got high standards.
Everyone
as he should.
sucks and he's awesome.
Yeah.
Boy, I wish I had that kind of confidence
Right?
when I was a single guy. I was really the other way. It's like,
See, this guy's from Brampton, Ontario. Where the hell
Yeah.
is Brampton?
it's on the way to Toronto.
Ugh. hate everyone.
God, why are
Be
you
local.
You're the one who's always talking about there's 8 gay dudes you know in Cleveland, and you've banged all of them. So what's the problem with you think you'd be looking solely outside the metro area here? Go to Brampton. Go to Mississauga. They're all right next door to each other.
If I gotta have a passport to Pound Town, I don't
You
wanna do
have
it.
a passport. Go use it.
But the fact that I have to have one to go see you, I'm not crossing country borders to go on a date. I'm not.
Tell them to come here.
I don't trust. Well, he can come here, but I'm not. I don't trust that. I'm not going to another country. How would I explain that? Oh, I'm just going for the weekend to meet this guy I've never met before in another country.
Explain to whom?
I don't know. People
What people?
When I go on a first date, I send my 3 best friends a text on where I'm going, just in case something goes down. I send the guy's location or the guy's address,
Yeah, I
the
get
guy's
it.
phone number, just in case. So I'm going to text, hey, girl, I am going on this date with this dude. We're going to go to Toronto. First date, just so you know.
Yes, going to Toronto for the weekend.
No one could pull up. No, on a first date, I don't know this dude.
Okay. But you don't know dudes here either. First date, you mean you don't want to travel.
Well, no, I'm saying someone could pull up. Like, what if something happens, my friends could come and get me or whatever. No one's coming to crossing a border to come get
Your
my
friends,
black ass.
if you were in trouble, your friends wouldn't drive 5 hours to fetch you?
Over a country border, probably not. No.
Some good friends.
All right. But, he's not going to save them either, so it makes sense.
Can you guys come get me? I'm in Toronto. They're like, no, sorry. We're at brunch.
We don't have a passport.
Who doesn't? What grown person doesn't have a passport?
I lost mine, so.
Well, but you had one.
I did have one.
You
I just
had
lost
one.
it. Yeah.
Have one. All right, I've got a break. Our hearts break for you, Poundcake. We hope that you can find someone local.
Forget it. I don't care.
We hope that you'll be awash in local boners. You want to get the last word in? Send me a text 35192. Corey Rogers.